Hello there. Today I was looking for something different and stumbled across She Came to Me. It's a romantic drama about a composer struggling to write new material. He goes out for an adventure one day and ends up having a one-night stand that changes his life. The film was written and directed by Rebecca Miller and stars Peter Dinklage as Steve the composer. Marissa Tomei plays Katrina, the woman he has a one-night stand with, and Anne Hathaway is his wife Patricia. The story is a multi-perspective tale that focuses on two main lines with individual character journeys as well. The main storyline follows Steve and his falling out with his wife, Patricia, and Katrina's role in that. The second story follows Patricia's son, Julian, and his girlfriend, Teresa. They've been hiding their relationship from her parents, and they accidentally find out. They try to smooth things over with her mother and father, but it doesn't go well, and the situation deteriorates from there. In the end, all the pieces come together and both stories finish at the same time. The cast is made up of normal people going about their lives and can be split into two groups. Steve's family and their upper-class life, and Teresa's family who are working-class people and surrounded by them. The three leads are all somewhat eccentric people with serious personality flaws that put them into strange situations. Steve is a coward running away from the world. Katrina is a love addict looking in all of the wrong places, and Patricia is running down the wrong path to make everyone else happy. Visually, this film involves watching the characters converse and emote in different locations throughout their daily lives. Their workplaces, their homes, and the boat. Each location connected to the rich family tends to be extravagant and fancy looking with lots of dramatic lighting. The poor family's home is more mundane but shows off a lot more color and personality. Sound-wise, the film features a lot of complex scored instrumentals. There are a lot of piano pieces with a little bit of string in the background. There are also two opera songs and one drinking song played later on in the film. All of the music attempts to bolster the emotions of the story, but they don't attempt to build an atmosphere at all. So to be fair, the biggest draw of this film is the acting. The writing and the journey are okay, but it's the performances from Marissa Tomei, Peter Dinklage, and Anne Hathaway that sell the story. The cast as a whole is good at playing their roles in a down-to-earth way. Outside of the three main leads, everyone else is just a normal person going about their day and interacting with the three weirdos. The three leads, Marissa Tomei, Peter Dinklage, and Anne Hathaway, are all playing eccentric people with a serious flaw to them. Peter Dinklage plays Steve the composer. He's lost his way when it comes to composing and he's trying to run away from the world, hiding behind plants at parties and trying to run home as fast as his feet will carry him. Dinklage plays the emotional aspects of the character well while striking a good balance between being too cowardly and still personable. Anne Hathaway plays his germophobic wife who controls every single aspect of his life. She manages him at work and then takes care of his physical health at home too. At some point, she realizes she isn't happy and starts spiraling out of control. Hathaway believably plays the emotional outbursts and does insanely well with including subtle details of her character's germophobia. Marissa Tomei plays the tugboat captain who seduces Steve. She's an over-the-top nice person who comes across like a psychopath. She's too honest, talks way too much about her personal history, and doesn't notice social cues whatsoever. Tomei kills that oblivious nature while still managing to make it seem sweet somehow. You're never afraid of her despite her condition, and she comes off as healthier in her choices than anyone else. The story is a long and complex tale that manages to put all the pieces back together again and has a decent bit of emotion underneath it all. There are a few interesting characters and they have some exotic moments that are hard to look away from. The visual journey is pleasing to the eye and easy to follow. They capture the emotions of the characters well, and there are a few nice scenic locations to look at. It's backed by classical sounding instrumentals that attempt to support the emotions, and every once in a while it all comes together to make a nice moment. All that said, the visual journey lacks spectacles to set it apart from other dramas. As it stands, it looks and runs like all the other ones, but doesn't have any extreme emotional outbursts to make up for it. There aren't any pivotal moments between characters either. The soundtrack is the same way. The songs are interesting to listen to, but they're often too busy and confusing to fit well with the story, and they all have a similar sound to them. The story is also just a little too complex to be entertaining. They spend way too long setting everything up and introducing all the people, and not enough time actually getting to know them and learning to care for them. When it comes time to execute the emotional payoff, it doesn't mean that much because you haven't built much of a connection with the characters. There also aren't any big dramatic emotions in the film. Overall, She Came to Me is a complex romantic tale that puts together a solid but somewhat forgettable journey and features a ton of great performances from talented actors. The story doesn't execute all that well, but there are still things to enjoy about the film. If you like this kind of story, give it a try. You might enjoy it. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 6 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.